Welcome to NFL Week 7. This is 5 picks in 5 minutes. I'm your host, Marino, aka The Rookie, joined by the vet, Chris Raybon. Okay, Raybon, we were riding high for a couple weeks there, so naturally last week we had to come back down to earth. That's okay. You're still 11-7 on the season. I'm steadily working back to 500. I'm 4-7-1 right now. But let's put week 6 behind us and move ahead to week 7. What do you think?
I told you should have gave 3 picks last week. We would have had infinity more wins if you had just given 3, and I had limited myself to 2. But what can you do?
We'll see how it goes. But before we get started, do want to remind everybody you can track all your picks on the award-winning Action Network app. The NFL season, also just a great time to sign up for an Action Pro subscription. That way you can get exclusive player prop picks from Sean Kerner, for example, other expert articles, and just so much more with Action Pro. Okay, Raybon, it's that time. Ready for the bounce back. Let's hear your first pick.
I mean, what better way to bounce back than to pick a fluttering, stumbling, coachless New York Jet team, -2 on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm going there. The Jets are 5th in pressure rate, and the big thing for me for the Steelers, no James Daniels. They lost him a couple weeks ago. He was graded out as the #1 guard in football. Zach Frazier, they just lost him last week. That's their center. He was grading out as the #4 center in football. You're going against a formidable Jets defense here. I think Devontae Adams really helps that offense. We saw Aaron Rodgers' chemistry, or failed chemistry, with Mike Williams lead to pretty much 2 straight losses in back-to-back weeks. Rodgers 65% against the spread, though, in his career, coming off of a loss. So I'll go with the Jets here.
I have to say, I feel like at some point things have to turn around for the Jets. Like, they are due, in my opinion. They've been right there a couple weeks in a row. So I'm with you on that one. My first pick, I'm going with the dog. But are they really a dog? Chiefs +1.5. So look, a lot of trends from our trusty director of research, Evan Abrams, jump out for this one. Great spot historically for undefeated teams coming off a bye. You've heard it before. Patrick Mahomes has been known to perform well as a dog to the tune of 11-1-1 ATS. And if you look at his stats in those contests, you see exactly why. It's not fluky. He plays well. He's also been excellent away from home. And then there's Andy Reid. He's won 70% of the time and 57% against the spread on extended rest. Those percentages even better when that rest comes early in the season. To me, the 49ers just haven't looked quite right. And I really believe in the Chiefs defense as well. So I think they can keep it close.
This is interesting for me because I actually think the Niners are getting sold short here. This was the same spread as the Super Bowl, and now I think the Chiefs are worse. The Niners are about the same, and the Niners are at home. But I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes off principle. So it's just like the Lions last week. I can't blame you at all because the Lions were our only cover last week on this show. So you got it. Take the Chiefs. I'm staying away from this game because I can't do it with the Niners. I can't bet against Pat, but I love it. All right, we're going for a total here. Browns, Bengals, under 41.5. The Browns, their offense has been horrid. They've yet to score 20 in a game. They've yet to gain 300 yards of offense in a game. They're going to go to a more run-heavy game plan, apparently, with Nick Chubb looking like he's going to be back. So if they do have success, it's going to be with the clock running. And then Joe Burrow historically struggles when he takes trips to Cleveland. His last 2 games, he led the Bengals to 13 points and 3 points in those games. So you have one team that can't really score 20, another team that struggled to score points, even with a star quarterback. So I'll take the under 41.5 in this one.
Bengals, Browns, under. Say no more. Both these teams have just had a really hard time scoring. So again, no argument from me. My final pick for the week, I'm going with the Bills second half -4.5. So I actually like the Bills here against the Titans in general, but I don't love the full game spread. But then there's Will Levis, and he's just flat out not good. Oh, that sounded so mean. Let's just say he is not effective. He's been one of the least effective NFL quarterbacks in the last 2 seasons. Also, per Evans stats, Levis is 2-12 against the second half spread in his 14 career starts. So that 14% mark The worst out of 158 QBs with at least 10 starts in the last 20 years. In general, once again, I could see the Bills, maybe having to adjust. The Tennessee pass defense is very tough. Maybe they're trying to get Amari Cooper acclimated, but ultimately they can pull away.
I thought that 14% mark was just Will Levis's interception rate, but it probably is. But yeah, you can't bet on the Titans at this point. Like, you just can't. I mean, at some point they're gonna cover, but they keep starting Will Levis until Rudolph takes over. I don't know if they are gonna cover. My last pick, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles -3, and this for me, it comes down to the Giants have no Andrew Thomas. So I know the Eagles have some injuries as well, including Jordan Mailata, which is big, but without Andrew Thomas, I just think it changes this entire Giant team. And that's to go with the fact that Daniel Jones just never plays well at home. Giants games always go under at home, and they rarely cover at home in his starts. He's just 14 and 19, 42% against the spread at home, including 1-4 against the spread in his second straight home game, which this will be for the Giants, failing to cover by an average of 6.2 per game. I think the Eagles are getting a little bit underrated. They should have won that game against Cleveland 23-9, but of course they get a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. They did not give up an offensive score to a bad offensive line in Cleveland. I think they'll manhandle the Giants as well.
It's those disgruntled New York fans breathing down Daniel Jones' neck. But with Philly, like, man, they're frustrating. Like, they definitely should be better than they are. The vibes are a little questionable, but I think that's why you're getting, an advantageous number.
Flying low, here. Trying to get it. I think Philly's a lot better than they've shown. I mean, they're a drop pass away from being 4-1. Saquon Barkley catches that pass against the Falcons. Yeah. So, I'm just trying to get ahead of it. Lifelong Giants fan, so maybe I'm just kind of hedging my bets here, but we'll see how it goes.
Yes, we shall. And that's going to do it for us this week. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. Also, comment below with your favorite bets for this week. Once again, I'm Maria Marino. He's Chris Raybon. Good luck. Thanks for watching.